Nithyanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyadhilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalam Achalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Triguna-rahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami.
Nithyananda, we welcome all the viewers, everybody, all Kailasians, e-Kailasians, and every single being that's joined us for this very powerful, mystical, yet definitive and a very scientific Akashic readings with Devi Parashakti manifesting in her physical form, the embodied form through the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam.
And today we are going to be having a very special Devi Parashakti Akashic reading. And that is right after having the most intense darshan, like the Lingodbhava, where neither the head nor the feet, none of these will be visible. It's just the light shaft that we worship. It's like such a powerful darshan of Bhagavan Lingodbhava. And right after this, we are having the Devi Parashakti Akashic reading. So what are we going to be having in this program today? So first, now we are going to be actually sharing with you what is Bhava Samadhi Darshan, what are the benefits of this. And we are also going to be learning about the Akashic reading and listening to some of the divine Leelas that is played by Devi Parashakti herself in the lives of her devotees, and how we are going to be benefiting by this Akashic readings, and how, and we are also going to be experiencing the Darshan, Diksha, Akashic reading by Devi Parashakti herself, manifesting through the Nijavatara of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. And in the end, even you are going to get to manifest the extraordinary powers of the third eye.
Now, to everybody that have joined us, all the Facebook viewers, YouTube viewers, and everybody who has joined us through Nithyananda TV, Kailasa's NTV, Kailasa's HNTV, and Kailasa TV, and every platform, this Bhava Samadhi Darshan and the Parashakti Akashic readings is going to be a very powerful, a life-changing experience for each and every one of you that are watching this, that are witnessing this. Now, as we learn what all we are going to cover today, let us now understand the answer to the basic question of what is the Bhava Samadhi Darshan. What exactly does Bhava Samadhi Darshan mean? What are its benefits? And what is the science behind it? Now, you can go to the further slide. No? Next slide. See, Samadhi means Sama is one, Adi is source, and Bhava is attitude or aspect. So Bhava Samadhi means being one with the source through a particular aspect. The aspect, the Bhava that you choose, through that Bhava, being one with the source is Bhava Samadhi. Knowing this aspect, Bhava, is ultimate Adi, and being oneness with that is Bhava Samadhi. You can go to the next slide, the further slide.
Science of Bhava Samadhi Darshan is real. Understand the divine cosmic beings are real. They manifest from Kailasa, the enlightened time-space zone, through the deities and incarnations. The divine cosmic beings manifest through Archavataras, meaning the temple deities. And through the Bhava Samadhi Darshans, they manifest in the Nijavataras, living incarnations.
Excellent.
Now, what happens to you during the Bhava Samadhi Darshan? Bhava Samadhi awakens your Kundalini Shakti. Understand? Like all of us, see, like when I'm saying I hold a ball here, so it has a potential energy. When I drop it, it is getting converted into kinetic energy. This is how we all learn in science, correct? Exactly like that, all of us have a huge potential energy sitting inside us called as Kundalini Shakti, which can manifest anything that you want in your life. Awakening of the Kundalini Shakti results in extraordinary abilities expressing through us like third eye, and ability to do remote vision, to do body scanning for anyone's body, levitation, teleportation, materialization, etc. Same way, increase in your IQ, and so many amazing benefits. This influx of the superconscious energy visibly slows down the aging process and also improves the immunity to diseases and helps us to even self-heal ourselves with the increasing levels of coherence. The whole brain becomes alive, turning into a superconductor of superconscious energies that heal, empower, and transform our lives.
See, that's why when you have the darshan or even glimpse of the avatar, it brings lasting transformation in us. It cleanses the lifetimes of karmas and it raises you to the next level of superconscious breakthrough. Like it is like just hitting a reset button on your whole being, like a reboot for your whole life. All your past actions, karmas, everything gets cleansed. And you, each time you have a Bhava Samadhi Darshan, you're hitting a reset button in your life. During the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, your neurons, the neuron activity that's happening in your brain, mirror that of the avatar. Actually, these mirror neurons are where, without you having to imitate your physical act of imitation, what is happening in what the person that you see gets mirrored into your brain. So these mirror neurons activate and process all of the observed movements or information of the avatar just by seeing, which means our entire body silently and without any movement recreates what is happening distances far away, experiencing the superconscious energy radiated by the avatar.
Akashic readings is not some predictions. It is directly reading from the cosmic archives. Today we are going to be having Devi Bhava Samadhi Darshan with Akashic reading directly from her. There is no such thing as past, present, and future. Beyond space, creation and destruction happen simultaneously. That's the song that says, Big Bang and black hole, both happens in the now. In dimension of time starts the past, present, and future. But in Akashic records, there is no past, present, and future. That is why what you call as happened, happening, yet to happen are clearly already recorded.
Now, to everybody who's joining for the first time, or you're here newly and won't understand what are these sciences and what is this Bhava Samadhi Darshan, how do we connect with it, relate with it, and who is the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. In this segment, we're going to take you through a short, brief introduction of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Shri Nithyananda Paramashivam. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is a reviver of Kailasa, a macrocosmic, ancient, enlightened Hindu civilizational nation. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is a 1008th incarnation of Paramashiva as per Hinduism and recognized by his predecessors who are enlightened masters and adepts. Swamiji has made the science of power manifestation, yoga, temple-based universities a lifestyle for humanity, making these extraordinary sciences available to the humanity in one of the most user-friendly, easily applicable, foolproof, and most scientific way for the modern day human beings in every aspect of its life.
The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is ordained as the 233rd Guru Mahasannidhanam, Pontiff of Kanchi Kailasa Sarvagni Peetham, Mandalagnam, and he is the incumbent emperor of the Suryavamsha Surangi Samrajyam and the present 293rd Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, the Pontiff of Kailasa Shyamala Peetha Sarvagni Peetham, and he is the present Mahamandaleshwar, the supreme spiritual head of Mahanirvani Akhada, the largest apex monastic order. The supreme pontiff of Hinduism is the 1008th Acharya Mahamandaleshwar, which means the head for all the spiritual leaders of Atalakada, which is an ancient apex body of Hinduism. And he is the present 23rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Dharma Mukti Sargapuram Adinam. And he was elected as the supreme pontiff of Hinduism by a congregation of over 1,000 Hindu pontiffs. And he is revered as the teacher of Hinduism, most prolific, most viewed, read, and watched. He has authored over 300 books and 10,000 articles in 3 languages, English, Tamil, and Sanskrit, and translated into 50 languages with over 1,000 titles. Over 20 million copies of books, articles are already sold, read, downloaded every day. Over 10,000 hours of discourses, enriched and enriched by over 1 billion lives digitally. And he is respected as the commentator of all the sacred scriptures such as Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Shiva Sutras, Brahma Sutras, Yoga Sutras, Ashtavakra Gita, Jain Sutras, Patanjali Sutras, etc. And he is honored as the leader of Hinduism, the most awarded, internationally recognized Hindu leader. And he is a reviver of the 108 ancient Hindu Sampradayas, including the Rudras, Rudrakanyas, Rishis, Rishikas, Bhairavas, Bhairavis, Sannyasis, etc. He is the establisher of the largest Hindu university. The Kailasa Nithyananda University is the largest Hindu university in the world with satellite campuses in over 150 countries. And he has established over 1,000 plus enlightenment ecosystems, the Kailasas across the globe. He is the founder and reviver of over 100 Sarvagnya Pitas. And he's a collector of the largest Hindu library with over 1 million books, 1 million palm leaf scriptures, and over 20 million digital books.
Now, learning about the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism as the Emperor of 13 Kingdoms, as the reviver of Kailasa, today what we are going to experience is the powerful and the unique, the mystical, the cosmic dimension of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, where Devi Parashakti is herself going to manifest through the living incarnation, the embodied form, the Nija Avatara of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Now, as we're entering that segment, I request all the viewers that are watching us on YouTube right now to go ahead and leave a comment to all of us in the YouTube channel. How do you relate with Devi? When we say Devi, when we say the divine feminine consciousness, how do you connect with her? Because we have had people who will tell, yesterday there were people sharing, they were saying, I connect to Devi as one of the most powerful women, as a true symbol of feminine empowerment. And some of them were like, she's a cosmic mother. So each of you can share with us, what do you connect to with as Devi Parashakti? When we say Parashakti, what is the exact connection that happens to you? As you're all commenting, let us enter into this segment of knowing who is Devi Parashakti.
So we'll now be chanting the Dhyana Shloka. Shiva Shaktya Yukto Yadi Bhavate Shakta Prabhavitum Nache Devam Devina Khalu Kushala Spanditum Api Atastvam Aradyam Harihara Virichindha Pirapi Pranatum Stotum Va Katamakrita Punya Prabhavati. Lord Shiva only becomes able to do creation in this world along with Shakti. Without her, even an inch he cannot move. And so how can one who does not do good deeds or one who does not sing your praise become adequate to worship you, O Goddess, who is worshipped by the Trinity?
There is another beautiful dhyana shloka of Devi Parashakti. Bhavani tvam dasi mayi vitara drishtim sakarunam iti stotum vachan khadyati bhavani tvam iti yaha idaivatvam tasmaihi disai nijasayujya padavim mukunda brahmarendrascha sputaf makuta nirajita. If anyone has wish in his mind to pray, you, Bhavani, my mother, please shower on me a part of your merciful look. Even before he says, you, Bhavani, you, my goddess, would give him the water falling from the crowns of Vishnu, Rudra, and Brahma at your feet, and grant him the eternal life in your world. Actually, there's a very beautiful Lalita Sahasranama Stotram, which extols Devi in all her dimensions. It says about what kind of a power and valor she has, how she launches, how she, wages the war against Bhandasura. It is so beautifully, it describes all her dimensions. It says she is a ruler of all the universes. Even such a huge stotram, which describes all dimensions of Devi, the first thing it starts with is Shri Mata. Extolling Devi, connecting to Devi. The first connection that happens to Devi is as mother.
Actually, the Lalita Sahasranam, just to say, it extols Devi's 1008 different dimensions. And the first dimension it starts with is, as she was describing, Shri Mata, the shloka beautifully starts. Shri Mata, Shri Maharajni, Shri Matsimhasaneshwari, Chiragnikunda Sambhuta, Devakari Samudhyata. This entire thing, she is extolled. Second word says she is, the ruler of the universe. But the first word is how she is, the cosmic mother. Devi is the ultimate pure feminine consciousness. All great things can start only with mother. Bhuvaneshwari is the cosmic mother. It is from her cosmic womb from which billions and billions of universes come in and go off.
I request NTV operator to go to the next slide. Right? You could just keep going to this as we do.
Yes. Now we can go to the next slide. No? Parashakti is the source of all of us. Understand? We all came from Parashakti. Let's stay in Parashakti. We go back to Parashakti. We all are literally the waves in the ocean called Parashakti. Just like how, the wave in the ocean raises in the ocean, stays in the ocean and merges back to the ocean. Same way, Parashakti is the source. She is the source energy, source Shakti, source power, from which all of us came, where we are now, and which we all are going to merge. It's like wave starts from the ocean, stays in the ocean, raises in the ocean, and falls into the ocean. We all start from Parashakti, stay in Parashakti, raise in Parashakti, and drop in Parashakti, merge in Parashakti.
Actually, Parashakti, Devi, the cosmic mother, she is the main deity of the sacred feminine. She is a divine consort of Bhagavan Paramashiva. Beautifully, we can see when Paramashiva sits in his Paramashiva Swarupa with 25 heads, 75 eyes and 50 hands. When he is sitting on his lap, Devi sits beautifully and she representing the whole feminine consciousness. Now, this divine feminine consciousness or the mother worship is a very unique contribution. It's very unique to Hinduism. This unique contribution to the spiritual consciousness. You can go to the next slide, no? The next slide, the divine feminine consciousness slide. So this whole, this contribution of the divine feminine worship is very unique to Hinduism, and that is why Devi herself, when she is manifesting, it is too sacred. When she manifests and does the Akashic readings, It is so powerful and so sacred.
So before we enter into the Akashic reading, see what is Akashic reading, learn about it, let us take a short break.
Even a malignant man, by beginning in the company of Satsanga, makes even the impossible as possible in this world. Kailasa is the message from Paramashiva to have superconscious breakthrough. Enlightenment, power manifestation, Paramashiva, everything served to you without you even moving out of your couch. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. We can multiply the quality and quantity of your life. The most ancient, best way of life and best kept sacred secrets all these years handed over only from guru to disciple, guru to disciple, guru to disciple. Secrets kept inside the Siddha Paramparas, with the tradition. Enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Whole world should become Kailasians. Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity, withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you, aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. Kailasa is enlightenment. Even a malignant man, by beginning in the company of Satsanga, makes even the impossible as possible in this world. Kailasa is the message from Paramashiva to have superconscious breakthrough. Enlightenment, power manifestation, Paramashiva, everything served to you without you even moving out of your couch. perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. We can multiply the quality and quantity of your life. The most ancient, best way of life and best kept sacred secrets all these years handed over only from guru to disciple, guru to disciple, guru to disciple. Secrets kept inside the Siddha Paramparas, Siddha tradition. Enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Whole world.
Nithyanandam.
Welcome back, dear viewers. And now let's enter into our next segment of what are Akashic records.
See, understand, everything that has happened, happening, yet to happen, are recorded in something called as space, Akasha. And it is only the avatars who have gone beyond this time. Avatar means being who's beyond time, space, or anything. Only such beings can have access to these cosmic archives. And today we are going to be directly receiving these Akashic readings from Devi Parashakti herself. Now, all the viewers who are watching us live right now, especially on YouTube, Kailasa's SPH JGM Nithyananda Paramashivam YouTube channel, you can post in the comments, how do you feel about getting these live Akashic readings directly from Devi Parashakti? Please take a few minutes and post your comments under the YouTube chat.
And so, many of us may also have this question of, what is this Akashic reading mean? Like knowing your past, present, and future. How is that going to benefit you? Or, what can you ask? What can you ask about your past? What can you ask about your future? And all of these, what kind of questions you can ask, how you can ask them, and what are these? How is the science? What is the science behind Akashic readings? Can you change your future? Can you change your past? For all these, we are going to have the answer in this short segment. Joining with us, we have Ma Jnanatma Swami as well, who is going to be taking us through with this introduction to what is this Akashic reading and what you can ask, what are the benefits.
Thank you so much, Ma. Dear viewers, we are all starting the most awaited darshan of Devi Parashakti, who is going to bless us and reveal from the cosmic archives. So in this segment, we are going to see an introduction to what are Akashic records. Now, Akashic records are records created in space. Whatever has happened in time is stored in the space dimension as a file. Nothing can be destroyed. None of our actions, thoughts, emotions, words, nothing can be destroyed. Whatever has happened so far, everything is recorded as a file in the Akashic records, which are also called as cosmic archives. They are called Akashic records because they are records stored in the dimension of space, beyond the dimension of time. So Akashic records are cosmic archives of everything that happened, happening, and yet to happen or already there. Akashic records, next slide, are verbal, visual, 5-dimensional document. Whatever is happening is continuously getting recorded. Now, whatever information that we collected from our past births. All of that is already stored in our DNA. Now, if we can access some of them, we can understand the actions of our past or the patterns of the current, present, so that we can manifest the future as we want, and we don't waste time doing the same actions over and over again. Now, Akashic readings are not a prediction. It is a reading from the cosmic archives. And now, in the dimension of space, there is no such thing as past, present, and future. Beyond space, creation and destruction happen simultaneously. And only in the dimension of time, we have this whole context of past, present, and future. But in Akashic records, there is no past, present, and future. That is why what we call as happened, happening, and yet to happen are already recorded in the Akashic records. Now, Swamiji revealed that nobody has the right to comment on these readings. Nobody has the right to manipulate these readings. Nobody has the right to interpret or comment on these readings. They are complete unto themselves. So for anybody to live in tune with the cosmos, Jivan Mukti, living enlightenment, they does not need any special practice other than listening to these Akashic readings over and over and over again. When you listen to these readings, naturally the negative logic is penetrated, broken, and these great truths settle in our inner space and they make you experience and live enlightenment. Only an avatar can decode these Akashic readings. Now, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has graced the humanity with the blessings and darshan in the form of Devi Parashakti, revealing the answers to the questions, to the earning to the seekers as solutions, breakthroughs, liberating humanity from pain and suffering. Any answer given by Devi Parashakti is not just an answer, but it gives a karmic breakthrough for the receiver. The Shastra Pramana for the power of Akashic reading is from Vijnana Bhairava Tantra Sutra 84, Dharana 61. The shloka says, Akasham vimalam pashyan kritva drishtim nirantaram stabdhatma takshanat devi bhairavam vapurapnuyat. Bhagavan Paramashiva says, looking at the spotless infinite etheric space, Akasha beyond the sky and clouds, one should fix one's gaze without blinking continuously and make the body and inner space steady and motionless. In that very moment, O Devi, one attains the nature and the power of the infinite space Bhairava. Hundreds and thousands of the disciples, followers of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the Kailasians worldwide have experienced the power of Akashic readings and will be having the Sakshi Pramana of various disciples and devotees of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism coming and sharing their experience today. The Apta Pramana is from the great Hindu epic called Mahabharata, and in the Hindu epic Mahabharata narrates the story of a great sage Maitreya who reveals the secrets to Vidura, the story of his birth in the human form, the reason for all his sufferings. Sage Maitreya accessed the Akashic records and told Vidura that he was not an ordinary man, but was in fact an incarnation of Yamaraja, the Lord of Death. He was to play the part of so-called Shudra for hundreds of years after being cursed by one of the rishis. The Atma Pramana, the account from the life of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Now, in the experience today, we can move to the next slide now. See, today, Devi Parashakti is going to manifest in the form of the Neja Avatara. And yesterday, one of the disciples had asked that she should be able to understand Tamil so that she can understand the Akashic readings. And Devi Parashakti revealed that the language she is speaking is not Tamil. The language that Devi Parashakti is revealing the Akashic records in is the Moola Mori, is the source language from which Tamil and from which Sanskrit were born. It is that Moola Mori. And if you are somebody who speaks Tamil, you will understand so many of the language, even though you may be able to understand what Devi Parashakti is revealing because it is based on Tamil, or rather Tamil is based on that Mori. But there are so many words and so many phrases that are not Tamil. It is actually the Mula Mori, the original language of the source language of both Tamil and Sanskrit. And it is from this Mula Mori that Tamil and Sanskrit were born, and they were revealed by Devi Parashakti herself in the readings yesterday. And what are the benefits of Akashic reading? All the information you collected from your birth is in the DNA. You can access some of them just to understand, not to waste time doing the same actions again and again. Accessing the DNA code, reading the Akashic records will be useful for you to be liberated from your default future, bringing an end to binding cognitions, known and unknown suffering, leading you to experiencing enlightenment, Paramashivoham. Only an avatar can alter the Akashic readings. The initiated Balasans can view the Akashic records. However, only an avatar can alter, edit, upgrade, and change the Akashic records. During the darshan, Swamiji blesses and upgrades and updates the Akashic record of the devotee as per the prayer of the devotee. So what kind of questions that you can ask? You can ask any questions about your personal life, your career, job, health, what you want to manifest in your life. You can ask about what is the purpose of my life. You can ask about some past incident, or you can ask where you will be 5 years down the lane, 10 years down the lane. Anything about your past, present, or future, anything that you feel you need a guidance, you need some kind of a direction, you need a blessing, you can ask. You need healings, you need certain events to happen or certain auspicious things to happen. You can ask anything under the radar. And not just that, you can even ask questions about global issues. There are people who have asked about corona vaccine. There are people who have asked about when corona will end. So all these global issues, you can ask them as well. So any question that you feel like, you can ask those questions, and you are to ask the questions live while Devi Parashakti is manifesting through the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. At that time, through either YouTube chat or Facebook chat or Twitter or WhatsApp, you can ask these questions. And we will be sharing with you in the further segments of this program how you can post these questions via social media. So now, we will now enter into the next part of today's program, where we are going to share with you beautiful miracles that have been performed by Bhagavan Paramashiva and Devi Parashakti from time immemorial, continuing till today. Now, let us take a look at the divine feminine consciousness, something that is very unique to Sanatana Hindu Dharma, something that is very unique to Hinduism. The unique contribution to the spiritual consciousness from the Vedic tradition is the sacred feminine worship. Even if everything from the Vedic tradition is lost, just the divine feminine consciousness, just the sacred feminine tradition, if this is kept alive, the whole tradition can be revived, because this is the seed. Hinduism has about 10,000 sampradayas. Now, if all the sampradayas are lost, but for some reason only this one sampradaya, the Devi worship, remains, the whole thing can be brought back, because the whole thing is centered on this one, mother worship. Mother worship carries the blueprint, the hologram of the entire Vedic tradition. In the words of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, he says that sacred feminine worship is the hologram of the Vedic tradition. There is no enlightened being on the planet Earth without, including me, without worshipping the sacred feminine. I am myself only followed Devi worship from the beginning. If you see my biography and all the deities I have carved, the darshans I have had, all are mother-based, Devi-based.
Actually, that is why when Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa so beautifully says that Shiva is Brahman, the ultimate, but Devi has the key to reach Brahman. Unless she opens, nobody can reach. So actually, very beautifully he says, he describes the house scene. Even though husband is the owner, the key to the house would be in the hip of the mother. Either you have to fall at the feet of the mother or the small sons of the mother, because only they can touch that place and remove the key. Then nobody else can touch. So either surrender to mother or people who are closer to mother to reach mother.
See, all the divine cosmic beings are real. They manifest from Kailasa. Understand? This is the first and most important truth. Parashakti is real. Paramashiva is real. Venkateshwara is real. All these divine cosmic beings are real. They manifest from Kailasa, the enlightened time-space zone, through deities and incarnations. In Madurai, Paramashiva as Bhagavan from Kailasa and established the greatest enlightenment ecosystem called Madurai. In Madurai, Bhagavan Somasundareshwara graced people of Madurai with various miracles. Swamiji beautifully tells, in Madurai, Paramashiva will stay in a frequency where he can be immediately, he can assume the human body just with one call of a devotee. He relates with you, answers to you, responds to you, raises you. That's why this whole Shivalila Nava Tantra, in the Shivalila Nava that happened in Madurai, beautifully Paramashiva reveals in every time how he assumes the body. When he assumes the body, the form to manifest certain power and grace the devotee, he exemplifies the expression of a certain sacred secret the humanity can benefit from. Whether we have been seeing in the last few days, how each person, he came and did different leelas, whether he came and appeared for Trignyana Sambandhar, or whether he appeared for the king, the Pandya king, or whether he appeared to give poem for someone. Not even Swami in Madurai, Paramashiva, how he manifested. He is like the cosmic 911. It is not even like he'll manifest to give you some great this thing after tapas to give you some darshan. No. Even for someone to answer the question of a king, he will manifest. To answer, to give the poem, to give gold coins to his devotee, dharmi, for him to get gold coins, he will manifest. The most simplest way, just the sincere call of a devotee, he manifests. Let us see some stories today. There are some.
So we are going to actually take you through some of the leelas performed by Paramashiva in his city, Madurai. And now actually he's come down and he has established his own country. So now let's see the leelas that he did in Madurai. So this leela is called as Karunkurvikku Paadam Solli Thanda Leela. Actually, where like he liberates the black sparrow. So actually the Madurai, the southern Pandya kingdom, which is in southern India, was actually at a particular point of time was still Orissa. And there is a king named Suguna Pandya. His deep prayer was, Paramashiva, even if I miss you, even if I forget you due to some reason, you should not leave me. You should come again and again after me. You should not give up on me. And you should initiate me into all the three flames. So this was the deep prayer that King Sugana Pandian had. And he also said, like, he prays, telling, even if my logic denies, even if I become devoid of your presence in my life, you should not give up on me. You should initiate me from all the 3 planes. The 3 planes means whether it is in sleep or waking state, all the different states of consciousness. So in any of these states of consciousness, you should come and you should liberate me. So this is the prayer that he holds. And then he requests Paramashiva, and also he prays, telling that I should gain back that beautiful feeling connection with you, with your initiation. So, and Paramashiva grants this boon by saying, Tathastu, so be it. And I won't give up on you, even if you give up on me. Paramashiva, as usual, as compassionate. So, Sugana Pandian, when he went for a hunting, he killed a black sparrow out of fun, not for actual eating. See, there is a law in hunting that you cannot kill anything which you are not going to eat. That was the law in hunting. That was the dharma of hunting in the ancient days. Because he killed a black sparrow out of fun, he had to take birth as a black sparrow. So the Sugana Pandian was cursed to be born as a black sparrow. So because of that, he lost his feeling connection with Paramashiva as Sundareshwara. But Paramashiva sends one of his Bhutaganas. The Bhutagana goes and stands under the tree where the black sparrow was sitting and starts loudly talking about the Shiva Leelas which happened when Sugana Pandya was a king. The moment the black sparrow heard all the stories, he regained the memory. But he got the memory, but he doesn't know what to do. He only regained the memory of the previous birth. And after regaining that memory, he starts crying. Sundareshwara, the most compassionate Paramashiva, appears in the dream of the black sparrow and says, come on, I am here in Madurai. The black sparrow immediately flies to Madurai. Then Sundareshwara takes the black sparrow in his hand and initiates, gives the Mrityunjaya mantra and Panchakshara mantra, the Maha mantra, Namah Shivaya as initiation. With that initiation, the black sparrow completes all the karmic package and he gets liberated. See, understand one thing. Paramashiva tests the will, persistence and strength of devotees. He tests only the tyaga of the real devotees. Before you connect, how you connect a house or to a gadget with electricity, you check the capacity of the wire, right? Just like that. Paramashiva tests only your capacity of tyaga, because only then you will be able to receive it. This tyaga is this core principle of Sanatana Dharma.
And now we will see another story from the life of the great saint NithyanandaSatsang. The next slide, ma. Yes. See, yesterday we all saw the story of his birth, how he got the enlightenment milk. Now there's one more leela in the life of NithyanandaSatsang. At Madurai, one day what happens, on seeing the number of people visiting the Tirumadalayam to meet Jnanasambandha, the Samanargal, which are the Samanargal are the Jain monks, became jealous. At that point in time, there were a particular group of people.
Actually, they were the people who used to perform black magic, Shaivism.
So there were some anti-Hindu spiritual elements. So they see Tirunelveli and they become jealous. And they brought this to the notice of the king, who immediately orders to put a stop to this. That night, the Samanargal lit fire to the Tirumadalayam. Tirumadalayam was a place where Jnanasambandha has established his peetam and he was sitting and meeting people. That is the set on fire.
So means that is the sacred
Mada.
So and literally worshipped as a temple.
But however, when the anti-Hindu elements set the fire, nobody inside was affected by the fire. And on finding out that the fire was instigated on the king's order, Jnanasambandha was upset. He curses the king. He's with the power of his enlightenment. He changed the fire into a fever called wakeful, with which the king was now suffering. He said, the same fire that came here, the same fire that was made here, let it go back to the king and let it manifest as a disease in the king. The summoner girl tried everything that they can do to heal the king. Somehow they wanted to save the king, but failed. Instead, the fever kept increasing. Kun Pandian was in deep regret for his
Kun
actions.
Pandian was the name of the king.
And Kun Pandian means he had a hunched back. And that's why he's called as Gun Pandian. Gun Pandian itself means hunched back. And Mangayar Karasi was the king's wife, the queen, and Kulasirayar. So they both went to the king and told him that the reason for this fever was because of the abuse that he did to Trignyana Sambandha. Then they requested him to come to the palace. He decided, all right, they wanted to get healing from Trignyana Sambandha. They knew that was the only way. So they requested Trignyana Sambandha to come to the palace and heal the king. Just hearing that Sambandha was coming to the palace caused the king's fever to decrease. It decreased further on by having his darshan.
Understand, this is exactly what happens when you abuse an incarnation. Because Kun Pandian abused Avatar, he started experiencing all these diseases that he was going through. After this, Trignyana Sambandha had come. He sat on the throne near the king's head. By now, the summoner girl had surrounded him, summoner girl, and his black magicians. And Mangayar Karasi was, even though she had to live around these people, the summoner girl, and the king who was also converted into that religion, she used to take the basma and apply it inside her clothes, so that still she used to worship Paramashiva. She was deeply devoted, and Mangayar Karasi was worried that they invoked to harm Trignyana Sambandha. And by the power of his initiation, he understood her feelings and said, the eternal blessings of Paramashiva are with us. So nothing can happen to us. Do not worry. And this called Mangayar Karasi.
And what happens is, now, though this was happening between, now the anti-Hindu elements that were there, the other monks that were there, what they did, they were not able to take it. They said, all right, you do the right, heal the whole right side of the king. We will prove our power. We will heal the left side of the king. Then Jnana Sambandha agrees for this. So Jnana Sambandha sings a beautiful song called Mandira Mavad Neeru. And as he applies the basman and sings the song, the whole right side, the fever drastically reduces and he just heals. The king is healed on the right side, but left side is still in immense suffering. So the king says, he realizes his mistake. He falls at Jnana Sambandha's feet and says, please heal me. I am not able to bear this fever anymore. Just heal my whole body. And the other anti-Hindu elements were ashamed at their loss. So immediately out of his compassion, Trignyana Sambandha sings he sings the Mandira Mavad Neeru, the song again, and he's fully cured. The summoner girl wanted to have another test. So they wrote all their mantras on an olai, on a palm leaf scripture, and they put them into fire. So they took all the mantras and they put it on the fire.
So what they thought was these palm leaf scriptures, so they all wrote their mantras and they put. And Trignyana Sambandha wrote the Kalirla Balaroli, a beautiful Tamil poem. So he composed that, and they took that also and put it into the fire. And except for his, so the moment that was, all that the summoner girl put got burnt. The moment Trignyana Sambandha's was put, the whole fire turned into green.
Actually, that's why the scripture is still called Pachai Padigam, because that whole scripture, the palm leaf, did not get burned. The power, the authenticity, the enlightenment that Trignyana Sambandha was in, the whole Padigam, what he wrote, did not even get burned. This
actually, instead of that, it became green, meaning the leaves, see, you take the palm leaves and it's dry, right? Instead, the palm leaves became green in color. So that is why it is called as Pachai Padikam even to this day. Despite losing their pride a second time, the summoner girl wanted a third test. And So this is where this is called as a Punal Vadan or the debate. So Kulasiriyar, so he was the minister of the king of Kulpandian, and he was the one who was also very deeply connected to Paramashivoham. Kulasiriyar did not intend to oblige, as he felt the truth has already been proven twice, and third time was unnecessary. To convince everyone, the Samanargal declared that if they lost the third time, the king could punish them in any way he wanted. Tiriyana Samandar accepted, and everyone goes to beautiful river Vaigai in Madurai, the shore of Vaigai. And Samanargal wrote their mantras on Olay Chodi once more, on the palm leaves, and put them into the river. The leaves floated away due to the current of the river. Tiriyana Samandar did the same. But this time, the leaves went against the current. Now, the truth was established, it was proved, and thus the Shaiva Samayam was re-established. And these leaves were brought to Tiriyana Samandar later, and puja was done to them. Even today, it is called as Yettu Puja, is done at the Adinam every day.
And actually, what happens when all the Samanargal saw the truth is proved, and the leaves, all the leaves are worshipped and everything, they were unable, they had the deep guilt of abusing an incarnation. Actually, Swami tells beautifully, when you know the truth, even you will not be able to handle yourself. Even by ignorance, you should never abuse an avatar. And when they realized this, when they saw, they were in such deep guilt. There were 8,000 monks, and many of them decided to commit suicide. Even after that, Tiriyana Samandar neither killed nor ordered the king to kill them. Whoever wanted to live, whoever decided to stay back, Tiriyana Samandar initiates all of them, accepted all of them into the fold of Tiriyana Samandar, along with him to spread and revive the mission. Understand, thousands of years ago, we all listen to these as stories, right? We say, oh my God, Paramashiva came down. Paramashiva has done all this. Tiriyana Samandar has done all these leelas. Paramashiva himself has made himself available and done the leelas. Understand, the cosmic 911, Paramashiva, that existed long back, what you all hear as story is a science truth. It's a truth, it is as scientific, and it is as experiential as we can experience today. We have Paramashiva and Parashakti, who themselves have come down, performing leelas in the lives of devotees. Whoever calls them out of their sincere love, immediately he manifests. Paramashiva and Parashakti, themselves having come down in the Nija Avatara, the embodied form as a supreme pontiff of Hinduism, he himself is performing the leelas in the lives of his devotees, attending to their innocent prayers, answering and healing their deepest guilt or pain, and causing miracles to them, manifesting immense health, wealth, and abundance to all of them. There are thousands of such leelas. Let us get ready to hear from a few of the devotees who have joined with us to share their stories, their experiences, the miracles that they have witnessed in their lives. All the YouTube viewers, I know this is one of the most favorite segment of all of yours. This is a time where many of you will be like, oh my God, what is this? What is this? And many of you are engaging and commenting. So please stay tuned. We are having a lot of them from different parts of the world, different cultures, different backgrounds, who have experienced Parashakti. So let us get ready. And for this segment, we have Tilagavati joining with us today, the first participant who's here to share, and then we have many others who have joined us with us as well. So we will enter into the sharing just after a short break.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that. I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
The modern day. So here we have it, Tilagavati. Yes.
Nithyanandamma.
Nithyanandamma.
Nithyanandam. Yes.
Tilagavati.
Just having the operator project view. Meanwhile, all the YouTube viewers, Ma Divyananda, there are so many of you who are actively commenting, engaging, sharing your excitement and joy. So let us know, listen to each of these sharings. You never know. This might be a breakthrough for you in your life when you see others experience the same. So stay tuned and keep letting us know what you feel, what clicks with you in each of their sharing. So, yes, Nithyanandamma.
அதுக்கு முன்னாடி நான் குரு வேணும்னு நிறைய நான் பரமாத்மா கிட்ட வேண்டிக்கிட்டே இருப்பேன். 2000 எனக்கு 30 years வீசிங் இருந்தது. இப்போ எனக்கு நான் அந்த வீசிங் வந்ததுன்னு 2009ல இருந்து ஒரு நாள் கூட நான் சுவாமி கிட்ட நான் ஹீல் பண்ண சொல்லி கேட்கவே இல்லை. நிறைய ப்ரோக்ராம் அட்டென்ட் பண்ணிருந்தேன்.
நீங்க பேச நாங்க மொழிபெயர்த்து பண்ணிடுறோமா? சோ ஜஸ்ட் ஒரு சென்டென்ஸ் சொன்னீங்கன்னா ஈஸியா நாங்க டிரான்ஸ்லேட் பண்ணிடுவோம். சோ Devotees joining us from Chennai, and she said since 2009 she met Swamiji and she's been connected to Swamiji, and for almost 30 years in her life she's been suffering with wheezing. But
30 years.
Sorry, ma?
30 years, 30 வருஷமா.
30 years. So since 30 years she's been suffering with wheezing, and she's never told that to Swamiji. She's never verbalized it. She's never asked that to Swamiji. Yes, ma'am.
ஏன்னா எனக்கு சுவாமிக்கு தெரியும், நமக்கு என்ன பண்ணணும்னு தெரியும். சுவாமி கிட்ட நம்ம எதையுமே கேட்க வேண்டாம். எல்லாமே ஒவ்வொரு நிமிஷமும் என்னுடைய வாழ்க்கைய அவர் தான் இந்த நிமிஷம் வரைக்கும் நடத்திட்டு இருக்கிறாரு. அந்த வீசிங் ப்ராப்ளம் இருந்ததுனால தானே இன்னைக்கு நான் பராசக்தி கிட்ட அந்த அருள்வாக்கு வாங்கி இன்னைக்கு உங்களோட ஷேர் பண்ற அந்த தருணம். அதுக்கு நான் அந்த வீசிங் தான் நன்றி சொல்லுவேன். எப்பவுமே நானு சுவாமி சொல்வாரு, உங்களுக்கு ஒரு வியாதினாலும் அதுவும் உங்களுடைய ஞானத்தை கொடுக்கறதுக்காக வந்திருக்கோம். அந்த விதத்துலதான் நான் நிறைய எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் எனக்கு கிடைச்சிருக்கு. நான் எந்த டாக்டர்கிட்ட போனாலுமே அவங்க ஒரு டிவைன் டாக்டரா இருப்பாங்க. அவங்க நிறைய எனக்கு அந்த ஞான மொழிகளை தான் கொடுப்பாங்க. அப்பெல்லாம் நான் இந்த வீசிங்க்கு நான் நன்றி சொல்றேன் டாக்டர், உங்களை அதனாலதானே மீட் பண்ணேன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவேன்.
ஒரு நிமிஷம் நான் just இதையும் translate பண்றேன். So she was saying that even though she has suffered with wheezing for 30 years, she's never asked it to Swamiji because she knows that if Swamiji knows when to give, what to give, and she feels she should not ask Swamiji, Swamiji will know it. And also she feels that having the wheezing for this 30 years is what made her have this experience of Akashic reading. So she feels actually the wheezing was a cause for her to have this Akashic reading and such experience. And she beautifully told that Swamiji tells every disease or anything that you have is manifested for a reason. There is a reason that it happens for. And she feels she having that wheezing, the disease in her body, has been a reason for her to manifest many things in life. Like Swamiji has been taking care throughout. And she felt that every doctor she met, every person she met were not normal doctors. It was all like a divine happening, because many of these doctors talked to her the powerful cognitions and the powerful truths. Yes, ma'am. Even you can continue.
மீட் பண்ண எல்லா டாக்டர்ஸுமே ஒரு குருவோட இருந்திருப்பாங்க. அம்மா இந்த மாதிரிதான் எல்லாம் நான் சொல்லிட்டே போவேன். நான் இவர்கிட்ட போறேன், சுவாமி நீங்க தான் அவர் மூலமா என்கிட்ட பேசுறீங்க, நீங்க தான் ஹீல் பண்றீங்க அப்படின்னு. அதே மாதிரி எல்லாருமே டாக்டர்ஸ்னா நான் இவர் அலோபதி எல்லாம் போனது கிடையாது. சித்தா, ஆயுர்வேதா அந்த மாதிரி தான் அக்குபஞ்சர் டாக்டர்ஸ். அவங்க எல்லாமே எனக்கு சக்ரா ஹீலிங் எல்லாம் பண்ணிருக்காங்க. நிறைய விஷயங்கள் நம்ம சுவாமிஜி நமக்கு என்ன சொல்றாரோ அதே இல்லாம தான் அவங்க சொல்லுவாங்க. சோ சுவாமியே தான் நான் அங்க பாப்பேன். எந்த டாக்டர்கிட்ட போனாலும் அதே தான் பார்ப்பேன். ஆனா இப்போ கடைசியா இந்த கொரோனா வந்ததுனாலதான் நமக்கு இந்த வீசிங்னால யூஸ்வலா இருக்கிற ப்ராப்ளமா இல்ல கொரோனா வந்துருச்சா அப்படிங்கிற அந்த ஒரு பயம். ஏன்னா எல்லாமே அதுக்கு ரிலேட்டடா தானே இருக்கு சிம்டம் எல்லாம். இப்பதான் எனக்கு சுவாமி எனக்கு இதுவா அதுவா ஒரே கன்ஃபியூஷனா இருக்கு அப்படின்னு கடைசியா நான் அப்ப கூட சுவாமிக்கு நான் மெசேஜ் பண்ணல. ஆத்ம பிரியா ஹீல் பண்ணுங்கம்மா எனக்கு இந்த வீசிங்க, சுவாமி ஒன்லி சுவாமிஜி கேன் ஹீல் மீ அப்படின்னு ஒரு மெசேஜ் போட்டேன் நான் அவங்களுக்கு. அவங்க அடுத்த நாள் நான் உனக்கு ஹீல் பண்றேன்னாங்க. 2 daysல பராசக்தி ரீடிங்ஸ் வரும்போது என்னோட டாட்டர் தான் எழுதிட்டே போட்டுக்கிட்டே இருந்தா, என்னுடைய மதருக்கு 30 years வீசிங் இருக்கு, கியூர் பண்ணுங்க சுவாமின்னு. ஒரு வித்தின் 2 minutes அவ போட்ட 2 minutes நானும் போட்டு என்ன போடு நான் போட்டுட்டே இருந்தேன். ஆனா அவ போட்ட செகண்ட் மினிட்டே அவளுக்கு உடனே ஆன்சர் வந்துருச்சு. ரம்யா கணேஷ் உன் தாய்க்கு
நான் ஜஸ்ட் சின்ன டிரான்ஸ்லேஷன் பண்ணிடுறேன். நீங்க இது வரைக்கும் சொன்னது.
So she was basically she was sharing about how she was going through this wheezing and she was understanding that every saw how Swamiji was flowing through, even whether the doctors she was speaking to or anyone that she was speaking to, it was Swamiji who was flowing through them and answering to her, be it healing her, being with her, everything. And after this COVID had started, and again when she experienced this wheezing by you experience breathing difficulty basically. So she experienced that, and this time she's confused whether am I experiencing COVID or am I having wheezing? Like, I'm confused, Swamiji. You should only do this for me. And she messaged one of the sannyasis, and the sannyasi also replied telling that, okay, don't worry, Swamiji will heal. After that, the Parashakti Akashic reading had started. In Parashakti Akashic reading, if you all might be noticing, and in 1 minute, it will be like hundreds of comments just flooding in. And at that time, her daughter put one question telling that, oh mother, my mother has been suffering with 30 years of wheezing. Go ahead, ma.
உடனே பராசக்தி சொல்லிட்டாங்க, ரம்யா கணேஷ், உன்னுடைய தாய்க்கு 30 வருடங்களாக இருந்த அந்த வியாதி 3 நிமிடத்தில் போய்விடும். மஞ்சளையும் வேப்பிலையும் எடுத்து அவள் மார்பில் தடவு போ அப்படின்னாரு. உடனே அந்த செகண்டே போய் எடுத்து அதை தடவிட்ட உடனேயே அந்த நிமிஷத்துல இருந்து இந்த நிமிஷம் வரைக்கும் எனக்கு அந்த பிரீதிங் ப்ராப்ளமே இல்லம்மா. அவ்வளவு டீப் பிரெத் என்னால எப்பவுமே என்னுடைய மூச்சு சுவாமிஜி தாமா, என்னுடைய மூச்சு நீங்க தானே சுவாமி, என்னுடைய உள்ள போகிற மூச்சு நீங்க தானே, உள்ள வாழ்றதும் நீங்க தானே, ஆனா அந்த மூச்சு இழுக்க ஏன் நான் இவ்வளவு கஷ்டப்படுறேன் அப்படின்னு நான் கேட்டேன். அந்த லாஸ்டா இப்போ இந்த நிமிஷம் வரைக்கும் எனக்கு அந்த மூச்சு ப்ராப்ளம்ங்கிறதே இல்லம்மா. அவ்வளவு ஒரு ஆனந்தமா நான் சாமியோட இருக்கம்மா. என்னுடைய ஒவ்வொரு வாழ்க்கையுடைய ஒவ்வொரு நிமிஷத்தையும் அவர் தாமா நடத்துறாரு.
Beautiful, ma. I'll just translate it to everyone. So she was sharing how a moment she put that question, understand thousands of questions keep coming, right? Immediately Parashakti read out her daughter's name and said, don't worry, I will, the 30 years of wheezing that your mother was suffering with, it will get healed in next 3 minutes. Just go apply turmeric and neem paste on her chest. And understand, as she was sharing, she was continuously suffering. The moment this paste was applied on her chest,
she immediately applied
it. So the moment Devi told, she immediately went and applied that. From that moment, wheezing disappeared, and till now it has not come back. She says, many times I'll pray to Swamiji, Swamiji, you are my breath. So why am I finding it difficult to take you inside? But now she says she feels so blissful because from the moment Devi just uttered till now, that wheezing has completely disappeared.
30 years of her suffering 30 years of the wheezing that she has had has healed in 3 minutes just with the power of one word of Devis. Wow. Ma, actually, நிறைய பேர் வந்து நீங்க பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கிற ஷேரிங் வந்து ஹார்ட் போட்டு நிறைய ஸ்மைலி எமோஜி போட்டு நிறைய கமெண்ட்ஸ் நிறைய பேர் இதுக்கு ரிலேட் பண்றாங்க. அதே மாதிரி ராதாகிருஷ்ணன்றது வந்து நைஸ் போட்டோ ஆஃப் சுவாமிஜிஸ் காலவேர தர்ஷன். உங்க பின்னாடி இருக்கிற போட்டோ பார்த்து நைஸ் போட்டோ சுவாமிஜிஸ் காலவேர
உயிரம்மா அது உயிர்.
ரொம்ப நன்றிமா ஆக்சுவலா ஷேர் பண்ணதுக்கு. தேங்க்யூ சோ மச். வேற என்ன நீங்க ஷேர் பண்ண நினைக்கிறீங்க?
நிறைய இருக்குமா என்னுடைய வாழ்க்கை. நான் இன்னைக்கு உயிரோட இருக்கிறேன்னா அது சுவாமி குருவா எனக்கு கிடைச்ச அப்புறம் தான்மா. இல்லைன்னா நான் இந்த நிமிஷம் உங்களோட பேசவே முடியாது. அந்த அளவுக்கு சுவாமி என்னுடைய ஃபுல் அண்ட் ஃபுல் என்னுடைய ஒவ்வொரு அணுலையும் செல்லுலயும் சுவாமி தான் இருக்காரு. வேற எதுவுமே கிடையாது. என்ன வந்து சுவாமி பார்க்க கூடாதுன்னு என்னுடைய ஹஸ்பண்ட் வந்து கண்ட்ரோல் பண்ணியிருந்தாரு. 2013ல இருந்து சாமியோட கிளாஸ் எல்லாம் அட்டன் பண்ணவே இல்லை. நான் அதுக்கு முன்னாடிதான் அட்டன் பண்ணினேன். பட் கும்பமேளாக்கு சுவாமி ஒரு மிராக்கிள் பண்ணி என்னையும் என் டாட்டரையும் அங்க வர வச்சாரு. 42 days நாங்க அங்க இருந்தோம். அதுக்கப்புறம் சுவாமியை மீட் பண்ணல நானு. அதையும் மிராக்கிளா பண்ணி. பட் வந்த அப்புறமா என்னோட ஹஸ்பண்ட் என்னோட ரொம்ப வந்து ப்ராப்ளம் பண்ணி பேச மாட்டாரு, வீட்டுல சாப்பிட மாட்டாரு, அந்த மாதிரி எல்லாம் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தாரு. ரொம்ப தப்பா பேசுவாரு அந்த மாதிரி எல்லாம். ஆனா நான் வந்து எவ்வளவு அவர் தப்பா பேசினாலும் பேசாம சாமி கிட்ட போய் உட்காந்துட்டு, நீ தான் இங்கேயும் இருக்க, அங்க அவர்களுள்ளே இருக்கிறதும் நீ தான், அங்கிருந்து நீ பேசுற, இங்க இருந்து நீ வாங்கிக்கோ அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு பேசாம இருந்துருவேன். நான் எந்த இதுவுமே எனக்கு கண்ணுல கண்ணீர் வராது, அவமானமா இருக்காது, எதுவுமே இருக்காது. நீ பேசுற, இங்க இருந்து நீயும் வாங்கிக்கோ அப்படின்னு இருப்பேன். பட் நான் வந்து இப்ப என் ஹஸ்பண்டுக்கு தேங்க் பண்றேன். ஏன்னா அவர் எந்த அளவுக்கு என்னை வந்து இப்படி இழுத்தாரோ சாமி கிட்ட இருந்து, அந்த அளவுக்கு ஃபோர்ஸா நான் இன்னும் சாமியை நினைக்க ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டேன். இன்னும் வெறித்தனமா ஆயிடுச்சு எனக்கு. உள்ளுக்குள்ளேயே நான் வந்து சாமி அப்படியே ஃபயர் ஆக்கிட்டு வந்துட்டு இருந்தேன். அதனால என்னுடைய ஹஸ்பண்டுக்கு நான் தேங்க் பண்றேன். பட் அவர் போன வருஷம் தவறிட்டாரு. அதுக்கு முன்னாடி கடைசியா ஒரு டயலாக் நடந்தது எனக்கும் அவருக்கும். சாமியை பத்தி அவர் பேசிட்டு இருக்கும்போது நான் வந்து என்ன பண்ணேன், அடிச்சு சொன்னேன், சாகரத்துக்குள்ள அவர் கடவுளுங்கிறத நிரூபிப்பாரு, நீங்க கும்பிடுற அதே பெருமாள் தான் அவரு, சிவன் தான் அவருங்கிறத நிரூபிப்பாருன்னு நான் சத்தியம் பண்ணினேன். எப்படி சொல்றேன்னா, எனக்கு அதெல்லாம் தெரியாது, பட் நிரூபிப்பாரு அப்படின்னு. அதுக்கப்புறம் என்ன ஆச்சு, அவருக்கு வந்து அவருக்கும் கொஞ்சம் லங்ஸ் ப்ராப்ளம் இருந்தது, ஹார்ட் பேஷண்ட்.
So we just asked her, so what else do you want to share? She says today she being alive itself is a testimony of Swamiji's divine leelas in her life. She's sharing how every breath that she takes, the reason that she's alive, it is because of Swamiji. It seems from the year 2013, there was a lot of obstacles that she had to face in connecting with Swamiji, because her house, especially her husband, was against. And due to some miracle that Swamiji did, she and her daughter got to attend the Kumbh Mela that happened in 2016, and they came and attended for 42 days. And even after she went back, still her husband seemed to remain the same. He was still fighting back with her. And at one point,
and he would not eat in the house, and he would disrespect, he would just abuse Swamiji. And at that point she was saying her only cognition would be, Swamiji, it is you are everywhere, you are with me, you are in the person who's talking, and you are in the person who's receiving also. So I have nothing, I have no shame, I have no guilt, I will not have any anger, I will not shed a single drop of tear. And she was saying she feels blessed, because all the abuse that her husband had done, only as much as her husband tried to pull her away from Swamiji, so much of connection and so much more feeling connection increased, and with lot more intensity and ferociousness, she became more and more connected, more and more closer to Swamiji.
And at this moment, she was having a very heated argument with her husband. And that time she threw a challenge, telling, I'm telling this, I'm promising this to you, that you will understand one day Swamiji will show you before you die. Swamiji is going to prove to you how if the same Shiva that you're worshipping, the same Perumal, Vishnu that you're worshipping, is who Swamiji is. Yes. Continue, Ma.
And sorry, just one last thing also, she told very recently her husband had passed away also, and this argument happened just a year or so before her husband passed away. Yes, ma'am.
இந்த இவர் என்ன வந்து இவ்வளவு அவமானப்படுத்துறது எல்லா ரிலேட்டிவ்ஸ்க்கும் தெரிஞ்சிருச்சுமா. எல்லார்ட்டையுமே அதை பத்தி பேசிட்டாரு, எல்லார்ட்டையுமே அசிங்கப்படுத்தி இருந்தாரு. பட் நான் எதுக்குமே கவலைப்பட மாட்டேன். இந்த நான் பட்டைய விபூதி 3 பட்டை வச்சுட்டு ஆபீஸ் போவேன், அதுக்கெல்லாம் கேலி பண்ணுவாரு. அப்புறம் இந்த மாலையை பத்தி கேலி பண்ணுவாரு, கேவலமா பேசுவாரு. கேலி பண்ணாலும் பரவாயில்ல, ரொம்ப அசிங்கமா பேசுவாரு. அதுக்கெல்லாம் நான் எதுக்குமே கவலைப்படவே மாட்டேன், பயப்படவும் மாட்டேன். சரி பேசுனா பேசிக்கிட்டோம் சொல்லிட்டு நான் பாட்டு போயிட்டே இருப்பேன். எல்லா சொந்தக்காருமே கேவலமா தான் பேசுங்க, ஏன்னா இவரே அந்த மாதிரி பேசி பேசி எல்லாருமே ஒரு மாதிரிதான் நினைப்பாங்க. பட் எதை பத்தியும் கவலைப்படாம இருந்தேன் கடைசியா. ஆனா அவரை மட்டும் நானு உடம்பு முடியலன்னா பக்க 100% சுவாமிஜி தான் நான் அங்கேயும் இருக்காரு, நமக்கு இது கடமை, நல்லா வந்து கவனிச்சுப்பேன். கடைசி அந்த ஒரு 1 வீக் ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் அட்மிட் ஆயிட்டாரு, அப்போலோல அட்மிட் ஆயிருந்தாரு. அப்ப கிட்ட இருந்து நல்லா பாத்துட்டு இருந்தேன். கடைசி நாள் என்னாச்சு, அவரு என்னை கூப்பிட்டுட்டு நம்ம டிவோட்டிஸ் வந்து ஹீல் பண்ணாங்க. பண்ணிட்டு அவர் சொன்னாரு 11th hour ஆயிடுச்சு, இப்ப என்ன இப்ப பண்ணி என்ன பிரயோஜனம் அப்படி எல்லாம் சொன்னாங்க. ராஜசேகர் ஐயா வந்து ஹீல் பண்ணாரு கடைசியா. நடராஜன் ஐயாவும் முன்னாடி ஒரு தடவை ஹீல் பண்ணியிருக்காரு. பட் அடுத்த டைம் நல்லா ஆயிட்டோன்னு அவங்க வீட்டுக்கு வந்தா மதிக்கவே மாட்டாரு, அந்த மாதிரி இருந்தாரு. கடைசி நாள்ல என்ன கூப்பிட்டு நான் உள்ள போறதுக்குள்ளேயே யார்ட்டையும் சொல்லி அனுப்பினாரு, அவளை முதல்ல வர சொல்லு உள்ள அப்படின்னு. போன உடனேயே கருப்பு என்ன அடிச்சுதுப்பா அப்படின்னாரு. என்ன நீங்க சொல்றீங்க, நீங்க எல்லாம் அதெல்லாம் நம்ப மாட்டீங்களே அப்படி சொன்னேன். இல்ல அடி வாங்கின எனக்கு தானே தெரியும், நல்லா அடிச்சுது என்ன அப்படின்னாரு. அப்படியா, சரி அது சுவாமி தான், நீங்க ஒண்ணும் அதை பத்தி திங்க் பண்ணாதீங்க, நல்லதுதான் அப்படின்னு. அதுக்கப்புறம் திரும்பவும் கூப்பிட்டு, அப்படி போனவளை கூப்பிட்டு நீ அந்த நித்யானந்தரை கும்பிட்டுக்கோ அப்படின்னாரு. சொல்லிட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் ஒரு 3 hours இறந்துட்டாருமா. இத அவருக்கு இருக்கிற ஈகோக்கு இத சொல்லணும்னு அவசியம் இல்ல, சொல்லாமையே கூட போயிருக்கலாம் இல்லைங்களா. அந்த ஈகோவெல்லாம் விட்டுட்டு கடைசியில எனக்கு அதை சொன்னாரு, நித்யானந்தரை கும்பிட்டுக்கோ. கருப்புங்கிறது நான் உயிரா நினைக்கிற கருப்பு சுவாமி, அத கருப்புனே சொன்னாரு. அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு
So she was telling how her husband used to keep mocking her even when she applies basma and goes to the office or wears Rudraksh mala. Her husband used to keep ridiculing her and mocking her and used to keep abusing Swamiji in front of her, etc. And she kept bearing all those. And at one point, so when he was in his deathbed, actually multiple times before that, whenever he falls sick, when they give spiritual healing, Swamiji's devotees will come and give healing. He will recover, but again he'll start abusing back. So this cycle kept repeating. And once then finally he was admitted and he was in his final deathbed. Then all of a sudden he came and he suddenly called last day. He suddenly called. Actually, just
that she had just one point wanted to add. Just before that, she told that even through that, though she went through the abuse or whatever, her only cognition, like what she kept was, Swami, you are only inside him also. At least for that reason, let me take care of him sincerely to the best of my ability. So even though he used to abuse and that whatever happened, but she used to give her best to take care. Even when he was in the last 1 week in the hospital, her husband was in the hospital, she used to give her best to take care of him, of whatever happened, just because she felt, Swamiji, you are everyone. Just for that reason, I need to take care.
And so she declared like that, and she started taking care of her husband. And that final day, and he's already in his deathbed almost, and he was about to die. He suddenly called her and told, actually she said she has also earlier shared that she worships Kala Bhairava. All of us can even see there's a picture of Kala Bhairava just behind her. So she said that's the one whom she worships, Karpar. Suddenly her husband called and told, he was in his deathbed lying down, and Karpar came and hit me. She couldn't understand. She's like, what are you telling me about? Karpar, the one who you worship, he came and bet me. She said, no, don't worry, it's Swamiji. Don't worry, don't think too much. He said, no, I only got the beating. No, I only know. You know what? You please worship Swamiji. You worship Swamiji. And then, see, understand, just few months before this, she had taken up a challenge telling, because her husband used to keep abusing and being against her, going to Swamiji. She took up a challenge telling, I challenge you that Swamiji is going to prove to you that Swamiji is Paramashivoham and Swamiji is Mahavishnu, the one whom you are worshipping. And exactly like that, just 3 hours before he left his body, before her husband left his body, he told her, you know what, please worship Swamiji.
Wow.
And he left his body.
We're having like really, I'm getting goosebumps as I listen to it. How much Swamiji attends. We're having Ma Devika Rani Airapatham, her life story is so touching, Ma. Paramashiva is real. Ma Chanda Anandita has put, the clarity she has is strengthening and reinforcing our devotion too. Appreciable, Ma. Ma, thank you so much, Ma.
ரொம்ப நன்றி மா இதெல்லாம் ஷேர் பண்ணதுக்கு.
சாமி உங்களுக்கு நிரூபிப்பாரு, ஆரின் காட்டுவாருன்னு சொன்ன இல்லைங்களா, சத்தியம் பண்ண இல்லைங்களா, அந்த சத்தியத்தை நிரூபிச்சிட்டாரு இல்லையாமா சுவாமி. என்ன கருணை அம்மா இருக்கு. அதை பண்ணாம இருந்து அவர் இறந்திருந்தாருன்னா நான் இன்னைக்கு கில்ட்ல தானமா இருந்திருப்பேன். அவருடைய ஈகோவை விட்டுட்டு நீ சாமியை கும்பிட்டு அந்த தர்ஷனம் எனக்கு சொல்லணும்னு கூட அவசியம் இல்லை. அவர் அவ்வளவு ஈகோயிஸ்டிக். ஆனா கூப்பிட்டு என்ன சொல்றாரு, கருப்பு என்ன அடிச்சுது. கருப்பெல்லாம் அவர் நம்ப மாட்டார். கருப்புனா என்னன்னு தெரியாதவருக்கு. கருப்பு என்ன அடிச்சுது, அடி வாங்கின எனக்கு தானே தெரியும். நீ அவரை நித்யானந்தரை கும்பிட்டுக்கோ பேரை சொல்லியே சொன்னாருமா.
Wow. I just translated, ma. She's right now in that she's unable to control herself. She's just overflowing with tears of gratitude. She says, you know what, ma? I took up a challenge. I took up Sati Sankalpa, challenging him, telling that, Swamiji will show to you before you die. But even at that moment, my husband is very egoistic. He could have just, without saying, he could have left his body. But look at Swamiji's compassion. Swamiji is too compassionate. That is why he made sure. Otherwise, my husband would have left his body without telling me this. I would have been in guilt. But look at Swamiji's compassion, ma. He made sure my husband told this to me. He dropping his ego, he told this to me. Actually, he does not even believe. He does not know who is Karupar. He does not believe in Karupar. But he came and told me that, you know what, Karupar came to me and he begged me, you please worship Nithyananda Swami. So this is exactly what was told. Actually, your story, ma, is so powerful. Here we are having so many people continuously sharing how they are getting,
அப்புறம் ஆஃப்டர் 3 months அங்க வேலூர்ல ஒரு குறி சொல்றவங்க இருக்காங்கம்மா, இறந்தவங்க அங்க பேசுவாங்க. அதுக்காக நான் அங்க போயிருந்தேன். அவர்கிட்ட நான் கேட்டேன், இப்போ நான் யார கும்பிடுறேன்னு தெரியுதா உங்களுக்கு அப்படின்னு கேட்டேன். யார சொல்லுங்க அப்படின்னு. அந்த பெருமாளை தான் கும்பிடுறேன், அந்த சிவனை தான் கும்பிடுறேன். சோ சுவாமி பெருமாள் தான், சிவன் தான் அப்படின்னு கன்ஃபார்ம் பண்ண. அதுக்கப்புறம் நீ உனக்கு நீ டெய்லி குங்குமம் வைக்காம இருந்தம்மா. நானு டெய்லி குங்குமம் வைக்கும் போது ஐயோ நம்மளால வைக்க முடியலையே அப்படின்னு நினைச்சிட்டே வைப்பேன். அப்ப சொல்ல, நீ டெய்லி குங்குமம் வைக்கும் போது வருத்தப்படுற, குங்குமம் வைக்க முடியலையேன்னு, நீ நல்லா பட்டையா விபூதி போட்டுக்கோ, மாலை இருக்குல்ல அதை போட்டுக்கோ. எனக்கு புரியல எந்த மாலைன்ட்டுன்னு. அந்த போட்டோல ஒரு மாலை இருந்தது, ருத்ராட்ச மாலை. அந்த மாலை தான், அத நீ போட்டுக்கோ அப்படி சொன்னாருமா.
தேங்க்யூ சோ மச் மா. நீங்க பகிர்ந்தது கண்டிப்பா நிறைய மக்களோட லைஃப்ல அவங்களுக்கு ஒரு இப்போ நம்ம சொல்றோம்ல, பரமசிவன் பலாயிரம் வருஷங்களுக்கு முன்னாடி அவர் பண்ண லீலைகள், ஆனா இன்னமும் நம்மளுக்காக இன்னமும் லீலைகள் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காரு. நீங்க பகிர்ந்ததுக்கு ரொம்ப ரொம்ப நன்றிமா. தேங்க்யூ சோ மச் கொடுத்ததுக்கு.
ரொம்ப 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 நன்றிங்கம்மா. சாமிக்கு நன்றி, சங்கத்துக்கு நன்றி, உங்களுக்கும் நன்றிமா. நான் பகிர்ந்துகிட்டதை நீங்க ஒண்ணு விடாம அழகா கொண்டு வந்தீங்கம்மா. ஒரு பாயிண்ட கூட நீங்க மிஸ் பண்ணாம கொடுத்தீங்கம்மா. ரொம்ப ரொம்ப நன்றிங்கம்மா.
And just to translate to all the viewers, she was sharing how even when she went 3 months later after her husband passed away, she went to a person who does this readings, etc.
Who talks to the medium, the people who connect and the souls talk through them.
So she went to a person like that. She hadn't mentioned anything about what challenge she had with her husband or anything like that. And he exactly told that, what you're worshipping this my Perumal only, and like the exact challenge what she put, and that's exactly that came in this reading also, that you are worship the one who who you're worshipping. And Swamiji is my Perumal only. You please wear the mala, the Rudraksha mala of Swamiji. You put kumkum, you put full basma, and you worship Swamiji. So this, understand all of you. When you see, never even go against, even don't even cherish or even relate to.
That's why Swamiji will tell, even if you doubt somebody is enlightened, do not disrespect them by any chance.
But so, understand, if you just hold on to your integrity with Swami. That is enough. Your whole life will be transformed. We also have the next for
coming and sharing this. No, what we sorry for the technical glitch. Looks like the audio dropped in between. Yes. Now, the next person that we are going to have, hope all of you are able to hear us now. Yes. All right. So the next sharing that we are going to have is from how, as a youngster, as a youth, living in the world today and living in this, in the current, how it is, how will Paramashiva happen in your life and do Leelas? And as a youngster, how can you experience and how can you enjoy that? So, Nithyananda Ma Prachi.
Nithyananda Ma, thank you for this opportunity to, let me come here and, share my experience. So, firstly, I've actually been connected with Swamiji since 3 years. In 2018, I met him. And 2019, I had come for Paramashivoham. That's when I met you also. And I think that program was just amazing. And before that, I just attended, I think, Kalpatru and even the yoga program, NDY. So it's just been so amazing. And just yesterday, I think when I received the call that I'm going to be having a TTA call with Swamiji, it was just so unexpected. And I was excited the entire day that, how it's going to happen and just seeing Swamiji after so long. So when we entered into that room and Swamiji came in, I was just filled with bliss. And I just didn't know how, even though we were supposed to ask our prayers, but I just completely zoned out. I didn't know, nothing felt more worthy than seeing him to, even ask anything. It just felt so complete and felt so protected, because since quite some time, that little bit of the current situation that we are in, that I did have a little of that COVID fear, but just seeing him yesterday, it just completely disappeared. And the way he has showered his blessings, whatever the prayers that I put forth yesterday, I'm just feeling so happy and so blissful. It was an amazing experience. And right after that, after our session ended and after the call, it just, even though it was 2 a.m. India time, but I was just feeling so energetic and so productive and powerful. I can, jump in and do yoga and I can do this. It felt so energetic. And this is something I've not experienced in a while, wherein after, I went to sleep, I was facing a very different sort of an experience, as in a very, not sleeping, a very state between a deep sleep state and a conscious sleeping. So it was a very different. And since then, I've been in this such high vibration zone after yesterday's darshan. It's just an amazing experience.
In fact, you are her favorite daughter. How did that make you feel? How did that sitting there? And how does this whole witnessing this Akashic readings of Devi and where Devi is manifesting through Swamiji and listening, getting answers from Devi and where Devi is telling you are her favorite daughter, how does that whole thing make you feel?
So yeah, so when it was in Tamil, but I could get just experience that whatever Swamiji is uttering, and when we got the literal transitions that Swamiji, I was just smiling constantly, and I was just so happy that whatever Swamiji has been just saying, I was just in a very happy and blissful state. So and the way the prayers and the questions that we had put in, and the way like Devi was just manifesting, it was. Like, I don't know, I just even can't put it through words even at this moment. It was just very amazing.
And we are still in cloud 99999.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Yeah, in that Zoom room and just being in that space in itself was just amazing. It wouldn't feel like leaving. Like, it was that kind of a feeling. Yes.
So I just have one small question for you. I have known, like, I've seen since 2018 how you got connected to Swamiji, everything. And like living in Mumbai, and it's the time where you have time, a lot of time to spend, chill out with friends and everything, and that kind of a life, that's what typically people grow into, right, in the normal way. But what made you choose Swamiji, and how do you think, having Swamiji in your life, how is it empowering you? What is the difference that you are seeing in your life?
So, exactly how you said, because when I actually got before this, like the friends, the people around me, I had a very similar lifestyle, and I still do have. But the way when I met Swamiji, so it was when I think my cousin who had attended Paramashivoham, and he came back and he shared his experience. And when he shared the way the lifestyle it was, and when we were there 21 days, when I just jumped in, I was like, now I want to go for Paramashivoham and just experience. And the lifestyle we lived out there, I think after coming back, I'm just that balance is so much needed in our current lifestyle as well. So you can do that along with the balance, because the Shaktis, the manifestations that we were having, and even yesterday when I asked Swamiji that, the most important thing that I need right now is to become a powerful healer and a body scanner to help people at any given point at anything that they're facing in their life. So I think, the entire the Hindu lifestyle along with the current lifestyle that you're living, that balance I think is much needed in today's time. It's not like only once you're reaching an age of 40 is when you need to get into a spirituality zone. I think it's much needed at this age as well. So yes, I think it's the best thing that has happened and that I'm onto this path. So yes.
So is there anything else that you want to share, Prachi? Because it is so beautiful. So many of us, so many of us are just young, and we can see so many people at this point will be so confused, and I would not just say confusion, but I would say it is just a blind following of what is set as a trend or the regular norms of the society. And I feel so blessed that we have Swamiji and we have such extraordinary experiences. Like, imagine you get to talk to Devi, you get to access those cosmic dimensions and cosmic beings so easily. So that are so beautiful and that are so powerful. Is there anything else you want to add, Prachi?
No, I just feel like I'm just very grateful at this point in time that we have Swamiji with us. So I think whatever's happening even outside, it's just so much easier to stay disconnected and be in this zone. So I'm just very blessed and grateful.
So beautiful, Ma. It's nice to see someone, from a different walk like this. Before this, it was a different walk of life. Now a different walk of life. They're further sharings, each person coming from various different walks of life and experiencing different dimensions of Swamiji. So it's really exciting. Thank you so much for coming today and sharing with us.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you, Nithyananda.
We are having many others who are commenting, and Ma Janandasithananda also had shared how each of these sharings is empowering her. Just enjoying how Paramashiva is coming down, Swamiji is coming down and doing all these leelas in our life just to show that he is available for us. Paramashiva is available for us. So that was definitely so sweet of listening to your sharing.
And even Aman Sangavi has commented.
Nithyananda Mamanaya, and thank you for commenting. So we have Aman Sangabe who has commented, and many other Shankar Sabeshanandaya and so many of the others who have commented. So thank you so much, Ma Prachi, for coming and sharing. Now we have more people who are joining us, and thank you. We have more people who are joining us for more different sharings, more different stories from different walks of life. As we get to their sharing, let's just have a short break before we start listening to their stories as well.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that. I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great.
Nithyanandam dear viewers, welcome back. Today we have joining us to share her experience of Devi Parashakti Akashic reading. We have Ma Anandeshwari Ananda from Vancouver, Canada. Nithyananda Ma.
Nithyananda Ma.
Thank you so much for joining us live for your sharing today. Please go ahead and share what's been your experience of receiving Devi Parashakti Akashic readings.
Well, Ma, there's actually so much to share. I'm not even really sure where to begin and where to finish. So I'll just jump right in. I had a spontaneous DTA call with Amma a few days ago.
I'll just pause you here just to explain to our viewers. So when we say DTA, it means dial the avatar. So dial the avatar is like the DTA call. And for anyone who has offered the Pratyaksha Pada Puja, or they have offered some kind of a homa or a seva, they get the blessing to speak to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism directly on a phone call and receive that initiation. So it is called the Pratyaksha Pada Puja with Diksha, where they receive the initiation by directly connecting with the Supreme Pontiff on the phone one-on-one. Okay, it's like an exclusive, and it's like a lifetime opportunity. You get to speak with Paramashivoham on the phone itself. And now there are, with the Devi Parashakti's manifestation happening and expression happening through the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the DTA, the participants who have offered Pada Puja in the past, are now being blessed with the Devi Parashakti Akashic reading. But the very unique aspect of this is they get to speak to Devi Parashakti. So, like how in the Akashic reading today, you actually put a question in the YouTube chat, or you put a question in the Facebook chat, and you put all these questions, and you're waiting for Devi Parashakti to pick up your question. You're like, you're keeping your fingers crossed, like, is my question going to be answered today? And we are sitting on the edge of the seat and like really waiting to see that. However, here it's on the other way around. You actually speak to Devi Parashakti. You're given that opportunity, and then you're like, okay, now you have an opportunity to ask. And you get to speak to Devi Parashakti, and After Devi Parashakti directly responds to your questions and prayers and moons and whatnot, and after you actually do the ask your question and receive the answers, again Devi Parashakti asks what more you want to ask. So it's literally a conversation you have with Devi Parashakti. So that's what Mahanandeshwari was explaining. Yes, Mom, please go ahead. So sorry, I was just explaining to our viewers who may not understand what a DTA is. So I just wanted to give some context. Please go ahead.
Sure, no problem. Yeah, so leading up to the DTA call, actually, I wanted to share with the Devi Parashakti Akashic readings, they're just on an entirely different dimension. You know, I've tried typing my question in the YouTube chat and various different social medias. I even filled out the form, but I wasn't really feeling that my answers were coming until I just went into like an unclutched state. When I went into that and I said, okay, the answer will come when it's supposed to come, if it's supposed to come. So what ended up actually happening from that moment is I was receiving answers either in my internal space or somebody else was getting the answer I had asked, or I would get the inkling to open up Facebook right away and there will be my answer. Somebody has just taken an excerpt out of Living Enlightenment book. Or one session, I just took out the book and I was just, you know, I would say my question, close my eyes, and just randomly open up the page and there was the answer. And I did this over and over and over and over. It was like, it became a game. So it pulled me out of a state of almost like suffering, desperation. Why is my question not being answered? To a very powerful space where I was like, no, she's listening to everything. I have to just meet to that frequency. And so this was the prelude to my DTA call. When the DTA call itself happened, I'm still connecting the dots to everything, all the miracles that happened. First of all, it was just an amazing space of Advaita. Like I was in sheer oneness with everything and everyone around me. And when Amma spoke with me, it was like, I mean, I couldn't understand at the logical level, but the feeling connection, my heart understood literally everything she was saying. And I didn't have very many requests, actually. I had very simple ones. Just, you know, wanted a spiritual name. I have a 4-year-old daughter. I wanted her spiritual name and just wanting to ask, what is the vision for this body? What is Anandeshwari supposed to do? And the answers that came, although I didn't understand again on the logical until I got the translation later level, but the feeling, it just blasted my heart chakra completely open. And I just spontaneously blurted out, I love you, Amma. And then she replied in kind. And anyways, the name that I also received from my daughter, the way it was, how you were mentioning it's not a direct Tamil language. It's the derivative, it's derived from this other, what is it again, Manya Maswami?
Sorry, Ma, can you please repeat?
The language that Amma mentioned yesterday.
It's called the Moola, the source language of both Tamil and Sanskrit.
Right. So that was what I was suddenly starting to understand. Even as she went through and started talking to the other participants, she was showing me how she sees. It's very difficult to describe, but I was feeling like her child, but I was also feeling like the mother to the other participants that were in the session. And suddenly I was understanding what she was saying to everyone else and how she was experiencing the love for her children was equal. There was no one greater than the other. There was no one special than the other. Every single one of them. And I can relate to that because I am a mom as well. So I understand there's a need to be ferocious sometimes with your children. I understand there's a need to be extra loving. I mean, that was just a really golden experience because I just fell into this sheer joy of pure bliss and pure love for everything and everyone, animals, trees, rock, everything around me. There was no limit. And that was it. Then my question was finished, and suddenly I had to run out to grab my daughter, as I said. So when I brought her home, my daughter started having a tantrum, and I said, oh my gosh, like normally I can console her, but she wouldn't stop. And we're still in the DTA call. And suddenly the idea came to me, oh my God, she wants me to connect her to Swamiji, to Amma. And so I don't normally do things like this, but I just dared. And I wrote in the chat, I said, Amma, I have one more request. And right away, not even a breath missed. And I heard Anandeshwari. Amma called my name. And I said, my heart just poured out as a mother. And I said, Amma, she's having a difficult time processing her grandfather's passing. Can you please help her? And don't let her be in delusion and illusion, and just let her have a straight road to you, because she's here for you only. And then Amma went on to bless her. And later, I don't have the translation yet, but someone in the room was roughly translating. And they said, don't worry, I will be her mind. And I will sit as her mind. And as soon as she blessed, my daughter sat in my lap. She cried for maybe 30 seconds. And then that's it. Moved on. Completely happy, joyful, everything since then. And even I'll say simple things like giving her haritaki used to be a little bit of a struggle. Oh, Mom, I love haritaki. Now she takes it like it's candy. And it's just, and the name he gave her, there's a bit of a backstory to it as well, but the name he blessed her with was Sukh Jyoti, which when I heard it, I understood a little bit in Punjabi. It sounds similar to Sukh, means blessed, it's the highest blessing, and Jyoti I knew was light. And I thought, wow, that's an amazing, and later I got the translation, light of happiness. It also means gift of God. And so yesterday I was thinking about her name, and it suddenly dawned on me about almost 5 years ago now, 5.5 years ago actually, when we were having difficulty conceiving. I had gone to my local temple here, and we did a puja, a ritual to conceive. And actually within 3 months, I was pregnant. And this was now during the 3rd trimester. I was at the temple in front of the Durga Ma deity. And I was just standing there, and I was looking at her during the Vratri, and I was just worshiping her and praying to her. And suddenly a puja flower, like an orange flower that we normally use for puja, fell at my feet. And there were no flowers on her at the time. There were no flowers anywhere, actually. And wow. I don't know, words don't do it justice, actually. I just fell into sheer bliss again. And I immediately prostrated before her. And I said, thank you so much. I know she is a gift from you, Durga Ma. And then yesterday it just clicked. Oh, the name she got today, or from Amma, was she is a gift from God. And, it just like this, miracles are happening nonstop. I would say the biggest clicks for me are having the intensity during these sessions and dropping all doubt. That was the biggest one. You have to drop all your doubt. And just like in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna Bhagwan took Arjuna step by step until he was able to reach that maturity to understand that you just have to surrender. And, Ma, I have to say that Amma not only listened to the requests I verbally expressed, but she also listened to my deepest prayers in my heart, everything and anything. That's why she gave me this pure space of Advaita experience. Actually, I just opened it today as well, but page 506 in Living Enlightenment book, you'll see there is a diagram, and it says God, I, you. It's all in the same layer. And the page before that is all about collective conscious. And so that was the experience she gave me during the DTA call.
Wow.
And also the prayers, I just want to mention that I didn't even ask for, but she granted me in the DTA call. She said, I myself will sit with you. Don't fear. Maturely, I'm giving you honesty, yogam, permanent physical health, 16 wealth. I didn't even ask for any of that. She just showers it. So the experience, Ma, this dimension of Amma is just an entirely different. Nothing seems serious anymore. It's all a leela. It's like, our children are off to play, do what they want, but then come home. That's that. And when she says poiva, every time she says poiva, I giggle inside. I don't know why, but it's that same thing. It's like sending your kids out to go do what you need to do, but make sure you come home after.
So beautiful, Ma. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your experience, Ma Anandeshwari, today in the NTV. Thank you,
Manika.
Yes, and before we move on to the next devotee who is here to share with us, let's take a short break.
I tell you, each Bhava Samadhi darshan is a spiritual treat. Enjoy. Spiritual feast. Enjoy. Don't miss it. Never miss a Bhava Samadhi darshan. Enjoy Paramashivoham, which is introducing and making you cognize the cosmic principles and cosmic beings. The state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. I tell you, each Bhava Samadhi darshan is a spiritual treat. Enjoy. Spiritual feast. Enjoy. Don't miss it. Never miss a Bhava Samadhi darshan. Enjoy Paramashivoham, which is introducing and making you cognize the cosmic principles and cosmic beings. The state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. I tell you, each Bhava Samadhi darshan is a spiritual treat. Enjoy. Spiritual feast. Enjoy. Don't miss it. Never miss a Bhava Samadhi darshan. Enjoy.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that. I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously.
Nithyananda, everyone, welcome back. So we have an announcement for all the viewers who are eagerly waiting for the Devi Parashakti Akashic reading. We all know just a few hours back we had the darshan of Bhagavan Lingotbhava. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gave us darshan as Lingotbhava, and while the body is getting prepared for the next Bhava Samadhi darshan, the body of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, we just need a few more hours to be able to have the next darshan. So we will be having the darshan of Devi Parashakti at 6 a.m. in the morning. And the program, the preparation program, will be starting at 2 a.m. IST. And the darshan of Devi Parashakti and the Akashic reading will be having in the morning at 6 a.m. The program will start at 2 a.m. and the darshan will be at 6 a.m. We have many of the devotees who have joined us for their sharing. So we will be continuing and to hear their experiences today of their experience at Devi Parashakti Akashic reading. Following that, we will be playing the alive darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So joining us now for the next sharing is Ma Anjali Srivatsava. I request the NGP operator to please project Ma Anjali Srivatsava. Yes, Nithyananda Ma Anjali. Thank you so much for joining live on NTV today to share your experience. Nithyananda Ma, if you can kindly introduce yourself, where you're from, and how long you've known Swamiji, and then you can go ahead to share your experience.
Basically, I'm from Indore, and I've known Swamiji since 2017. I attended IA, and I work as a IT professional. So since then I was connected to Swamiji. Yeah. So it has been a long time now, and continuously attending so many programs in our Awakening Pada Puja and Paramashivoham. So it has been a wonderful and exciting and amazing journey with Swamiji. So that was my connection with Swamiji.
Beautiful, Ma. And what was your experience with Devi Parashakti Akashic readings? I know you just had the Dial the Avatar with Devi Parashakti yesterday around the same time. So what was your experience?
Yeah, actually, earlier I attended all the Akashic readings on YouTube, and I was posting some of the questions, but I was not getting answered. So I thought I should not post anymore. I think I've done enough now. I think she's not going to answer, and I don't know, maybe I'm not praying enough or whatever. So yesterday I got a call that Ma, you are going to have a DTA. So I know which DTA. So I didn't know which DTA I'm going to have. So she said you might have done some puja in the past, so you can fill the form and you can have DTA. So okay, I said okay. Then I didn't know it was going to be Swamiji's or Parashakti reading, but so it was a truly unexpected and surprising that Swamiji, I just gave up, and I just didn't want to attend. I think I've just decided not to post question anymore. So, but Swamiji just showered me, okay, you have a detail call and exclusive call with me. So it was an amazing, different. So I think that was Swamiji always shows us that he never puts us in denial or in insecurity or in incompletion that we are not going to have something which we desire, and he always showers more and always in a double amount, triple amount. So that what shifted me itself. And definitely my question was what is my future? That was the most I think the burning question I had. So I just asked that, and she the beautiful reply I got was that your future is my feet and you're my pet daughter. That was just so much. So, and you will be in bliss and everything.
Parashakti is talking to all of us now.
Sorry, ma?
I said the pet daughter of Devi Parashakti is talking to all of us now.
Yeah, so that was so cute and it was so blissful. And she said, "You get yoga." I always like yoga.
We can see the bliss radiating through your face, Manjali.
Thank you. I thought I got nervous. I will not get nervous. So that was so cute, and definitely it was so long time I heard from Swamiji earlier. It has been like lot of past 2 years. So it's good that we have back DTA, and it's the most favorite thing of disciples to have DTA with Swamiji.
Absolutely, ma. Absolutely. And anything else you would like to share about your experience with Devi Parashakti?
Devi Parashakti. Whenever I sit in the darshan, lot of healing happens, and we are living in a situation, especially in Indore, it's like worse, and hospitals are like flooded. There's no oxygen cylinders, and so much is going on. So there is lot of fear and insecurity that goes on, and Swamiji is continuously giving us darshan and healing us, and I can experience the healing each day and every day. And also yesterday when Swamiji said that your future is at my feet and you will be like in bliss and you will have yoga. So that itself completely the whole fear of pandemic that just gone away from my system, and it was so much energy that I was not able to sleep also last night. So
I'm sure.
That was
beautiful, Mark. Beautiful. I know you could just see one is what you're expressing through words, but the second is what you're just expressing through the joy that you are experiencing. We could actually, it's so contagious. We could all feel that. You know, when Devi Parashakti just talks to you and says, "You are my dear daughter, you're going to live at my feet." You know, what more you want? What more can you expect in life? You know, what more you want in life? You just feel so fulfilled and you just feel so showered. And that is exactly the feeling Devi Parashakti, the divine cosmic mother, is giving to each and every one of us. Thank you so much for coming live on Nithyananda TV and sharing your experience. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Nithyananda.
Next we have joining us. Thank you, Ma. Thank you. Next we have joining us to share her experience is Dr. Shilpa from Tumkur. Nithyananda Ma.
Nithyananda Ma.
Nithyananda Ma. Please go ahead and introduce yourself and do share your experience and miracles with Devi Parashakti.
Yes, Ma. Nithyananda, my name is Dr. Shilpa Anil Kumar. I am from Tumkur, Karnataka, India. And we are devoted to Swamiji since 2005. And I have seen hundreds of Bhava Samadhi darshans. But I feel Devi Parashakti darshan is the ultimate, because the miracles I am seeing for the past few days of Devi darshan is unbelievable. When Devi darshan started few weeks back, the first experience I had was I saw people were getting their prayers answered by Devi Ma, and I wanted to know where we can ask the questions. I didn't know we can ask in the YouTube chat. Then I was praying that I have a dog who is his name is Kalabhairava, and he is 10 months old. And I always had a very bad feeling because he never eats. I see him as a kid, and he never eats, and I was feeling so bad. That day morning when Devi Darshan was there, I prayed to Ma, as a mother, please feel my pain and see to it that my dog eats. And then I forgot about that and I went to clinic. And later in the afternoon when I came, I saw that all the food I had put, he had eaten, and from that day, every day he has been eating. That's an unbelievable miracle. Okay. And
Wow.
yes, Ma. He's been eating regularly since then. That prayer, even without opening my mouth, I just prayed in my heart and it happened. And so many such miracles are happening. Yes, Ma. And
beautiful. Go ahead.
And one more thing, after that, I posted a prayer in the YouTube chat. My father, who is 80 years old, he has ulcer on his leg for the past more than 6 months. It's unhealing ulcer and it's very painful for him. And then I prayed to Ma asking for healing. So Devi Ma said that she's going to heal him, and she said apply turmeric and neem to his lower abdomen. And I told my mother to apply, and my parents are not devotees, that I want to tell. But because I prayed to Ma, my mother started applying, and she could apply only for 3 days, because after that, both of them got corona. And then again I prayed and both of them got healed. And 10 days later, he opened the wound. When he opened the wound, as the picture is shown, before the wound was very big. And then when 10 days later, when he opened, it had reduced in size and started healing. And he said the pain has reduced. Wow. And yes, and he has been trying all sorts of medications and it is not helping. That I want to tell you. And then today again, wow. 10 days later, this is 3 weeks now. Today again, he opened the wound. The picture that is shown is the 20 days after Ma has blessed him, and the wound has completely healed. The pain is significantly reduced, and is literally dancing. My father is so happy.
Wow.
Yes, Ma. And like
amazing,
that.
Ma.
Yes, Ma. And since the lockdown is announced, for the past few days, we have not been going to the clinic also, only online consultation only. But as we are not one, the darshan I'm missing. Every day I'm sitting there for the darshan and simply praying. And I'm seeing that the income has actually increased.
Wow.
Yes, Ma. And every day I'm just waiting for the darshans for happening, for Akashic readings. I'm so happy and I'm so grateful to Devi Ma and Swamiji. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your sharing. And thank you so much for coming live. And here you can see, dear viewers, a live miracle, how the ulcer in the leg, which was not healing for 3 months.
6 months, Ma.
6 months. Which was not healing for 6 months. Right after the darshan of Devi Parashakti, how it has beautifully healed. You can see that. The pictures before and after. So beautiful, Ma. Thank you so much for coming and sharing, Dr. Shilpa.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you.
Thank you. And before we move on to our next devotee who's here to share, let's take a short break.
Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously.
1 or 2 times have Ganapati Darshan, Venkateshwara Baba Samadhi Darshan, Devi Baba Samadhi Darshan. By 3rd time, 4th time you will see every prayer you are asking those beings, Ganapati or Venkateshwara or Subramanya or Parashakti. Simply those prayers become reality and the relationship between you and cosmic beings built. One or 2 times have Ganapati Darshan, Venkateshwara Baba Samadhi Darshan, Devi Baba Samadhi Darshan. By 3rd time, 4th time you will see every prayer you are asking those beings, Ganapati or Venkateshwara or Subramanya or Parashakti. Simply those prayers become reality.
Welcome back, dear viewers. And now we have Ma Nithya Premananda, who is joining us live to share her experience of Devi Parashakti Akashic readings. Nithyananda Ma.
Nithyanandam, this is Ma Nithya Premananda.
Just a moment, I'm having an project your video.
Oh.
Yes. Yes, Ma, please go ahead.
Nithyanandam Ma.
Nithyananda.
Ma Nithya Premananda from Kailasa, Dubai, Adinam. It's so nice once again to be able to share all the miracles that are happening in our life with Swamiji and talking about the Devi Aralvaku experiences. Recently, last week, Swamiji blessed Devi like for us to have a divine child, and in that it was a big surprise, like when suddenly the blessing came as in like, I myself will be there and call you as Tai and Tatai, and it was like mother and father, and fulfill your desire that you want from the child to call you as mother and father. And it was so amazing because the bliss, joy and ecstasy, it's also experiential, so words will not suffice, all the feelings that we went through. And it was like the Kundalini awakening and the vibrations and so much happening internally also, and the being felt totally connected to Devi Ma, the compassion and love with which the blessings have been showered, and also like it just brought back memories like few years ago, especially like since we've been devotees, my Sakha Chidamrananda also, and we both are with Swamiji from 2010, and it's like when I come to know about Swami Ma, and I had seen her and I was like, wow, what an amazing being this must be to, conceive an avatar. And so that deep feeling of, awe for her and gratitude and compassion, everything was there together. And suddenly when Swamiji gave this blessing, it was like, oh my God, like a dream come true, which I would never have, in my life thought this can happen in this time. But with Swamiji, everything is possible, and it is just amazing. His grace and Leela is happening in our life in every moment, just not just between us, like as Sakha and Sakhi, but with all our family members and our pets as well. And it's just very, very fulfilling now. In the past few months, especially from the time the Devi Bhava Darshans have started, it's been extremely quick, very quick. Whatever I may think also as a wish,
even sometimes if it's halfway through, it just manifests. So it's like that, small or big, it really doesn't matter. You just have to put it in the head, or just sometimes talk to Swamiji, inside, internally, and it just happens. So the blessing is so much, and feel like, yes, the Cosmic Mother is there for us every moment of our life, just there all the time. So this is what I wanted to share right now.
When I actually listened to the Devi Parashakti Akashic readings, and Devi was blessing you and Shri Chidambaraya, it really brought tears to my eyes. Just the way Devi Parashakti just was like showering her love and saying, I myself will be born, and I myself will give you that fulfillment by calling you mother. And you will always live at my feet, and you will always be with me, and you'll always live at my feet. And the way Devi blessed Ma.
Yeah, and it was like he said, soon you will be called to Kailasa, and all these things. They're like all boons, like, yeah, wishes being showered. It's like without asking, also so many things just happen. So this is what I wanted to share.
Beautiful, Ma. Beautiful. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your experience, Ma Premia, and sharing your excitement. And pretty soon we are going to see of an avatar of Devi Parashakti coming through Ma Premia and Sri Chidambaraya of Dubai, and we cannot wait for that moment. So welcome and another avatar of Devi Parashakti to the world. Beautiful, Ma. Thank you so much for coming and sharing.
Thank you all, you also. Thank you.
Thank you. So, viewers, with this, we are coming to the conclusion of this program, and we are now going to move on to the we will be continuing the same program, preparing ourselves for the Devi Parashakti Akashic reading at 2 a.m. So in just close to about 5 hours from now, we are going to be having the preparation program starting. We are now going to lead on to the alive darshan and satsang. So please stay tuned. We will now be playing the alive darshan and satsang of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And a few hours from now at 2 a.m. IST, we are going to be having the Devi Parashakti Akashic reading preparation program, followed by at 6 a.m. IST, we'll be having the darshan of Devi Parashakti. So do stay tuned and welcome back at 2 a.m. Indian Standard Time. The NTV programs will continue. It's a 24/7 channel. So we will be continuing our upcoming programs on Nithyananda TV. Join us back for Devi Parashakti Akashic readings at 2 a.m. Indian Standard Time, just close to 5 hours from now. With that, we'll be concluding this program and leading on to the satsang. So let us prepare ourselves for the satsang by intensely chanting the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Please sit straight and close your eyes and intensely chant the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Thank you.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.